Hey guys, just want to come up here for Women Supporting Women Wednesday. How y'all doing? Just want to get up here and start the month off strong for National Women's Month and National Women's History Month. I'm sorry, and just talk tonight and just talk about life after divorce and just talk about a book that I have read. I read pretty much, I would say, probably about 10, 11, 12 years ago, before I got with my youngest daughter's father. And it was a very interesting book, a very uplifting book. And hey, boo, I can see your comments. This is my second video on YouTube, so bear with me. Um, but yeah, I want to talk about Juanita Bynum's her ex, I think he's her ex now. It's her ex-husband's book, and she forwarded it. So she's talking in the book. So this is the book, Teach Me How to Love You. And I think this is very important because a lot of times we don't talk about, you know, the things that we deal with in relationships and the things that we need in relationships, especially, when you're talking about love. And I'm a Sagittarius, and I love hard. I love deep. And I tend to, just jump head first, and without a life jacket, and just it's not where it's at. You gotta know how to love me. And I think that's very important when we start talking about dating and coming into a new space of relationships and talking about loving me. So I wanted to just read a couple of questions from the back of the book, and then I'm gonna touch on them. Okay. So, what entices you about the opposite sex? What entices you about the opposite sex? A lot. Okay. How do you find a godly mate? I think that's very important. That's key for me. They have to be God fearing. They have to have a relationship with God. Some type of spirituality for sure. Let me not say some type, because let's be clear. I want to be equally yoked. So I do want them to believe in God for sure. And to have a aspect when it comes to a prayer life, a spiritual life. Um, what is a husband's role? Oh, I'm sorry. What is a husband's dual role? So, if you're looking for something in particular, are you looking to be a helpmate? Or are you looking to be submissive? Are you looking to dominate? I'm not. I want to be submissive, but I'm not submitting to no mess, to be clear. And that's the reason why I am a divorcee, because I'm not standing for mess. I'm not dealing with mess. I ain't got time. I'm a grown ass woman, and I believe in um I believe in equality, give and take. So, what is the true nature and anointing of a woman? Okay, I'll take that. Why does adultery happen? Me and my ex got in an argument today, and he, called me a bitch and all kinds of stuff. But I'm like, I just laughed. I was like, LOL. Hey, you gonna call me that today just because I asked you about money? Hey, that's cool with me, So I ain't got time. So, you have to really find your voice and just know how to deal with stuff. Me personally, I don't have time for negative energy and anything that is not uplifting to me. So if it's negative, I tend to shy away from it, ignore it. Um, I don't have time for it. So I'm not gonna indulge in the mess. I did go back and forth for a little bit, but after after a while I was like, whatever, like you're mad today. So whatever. Um, so why does adultery happen and how can you avoid it? I don't think I think adultery is something that you choose to do. It's not like you wake up today and you be like, yep, I'm going to cheat on my wife or I'm going to cheat on my husband. But I think, we play too much in relationships and we toy with people's feelings. And when you do that, you're playing with fire. So if you are toying with people's relationships, then there's a possibility that something can happen and you have to be prepared for that ramification. So if you know that you have got guy friends and you're married, then you know that you shouldn't be really indulging in that in certain or putting yourself in certain situations because you don't want to be in that light. And I think men tend to, and let me not say men because women cheat too. But in my situation, men cheated on me, and I feel like they put themselves in vulnerable situations. If you put yourself in a situation to be with the woman by yourself and it's just you and her, you asking for trouble. If you are at a female's house and you're married, you're asking for trouble. If you're texting, DMing, sending messages, flirting, sending nudes, whatever it is that you do, then you're asking for trouble. So why does adultery happen? Because they allow it to happen. It's a choice. We all have a choice to be in a relationship, with someone, a positive or a healthy relationship, or we could choose to be toxic to the other person. For me, I give 100%. So I tend to give more than what I receive. And so that's a no-no. So the dating game is pretty weak right now with COVID. So it's funny. My DM stay blowing up, but you ain't getting no ass. So I said I was gonna be candid tonight. So, I'm gonna be me, I'm gonna be transparent, and I'm gonna be real. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything or act as if, stuff didn't happen because it did. If you read my book, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna be very candid tonight. It's Women Supporting Women Wednesdays, and I want to be supportive to my sisters, and I want to be supportive to just being, real and being honest. Tamika, stop laughing at me. Y'all comment below. Let me hear your comments in the live chat. I'm seeing them. Thank you guys so much. It's funny. Yes, I love Juanita Bottoms too. And I just want to make sure that I am definitely, being me. Very candid. That's what the world needs. Yes, the world does need candid people. About to say a word that didn't. We support you. Thank you, boo. So yeah, back to my tangent. Um, why does adultery happen and how do you avoid it? I think you avoid it by having open communication. If you have open communication with your mate, then there's nothing you can't do. If you guys are able to communicate and talk about everything, which I thought that's what I had in my previous relationship. I thought we were friends. I thought we talked about everything, and that's not the situation. I was open. I was very candid. I was honest, but he wasn't. So what happens is if you tend to pour your heart out and tell, the other person, your weaknesses, your strengths, what makes you tick, whatever it is, and they don't, then they got all the cards and you don't. And you don't even know what card to play because they're not being honest. And I think that's the situation in relationships, and I think that's also part of adultery. You knew you was a dog before you proposed. You knew you was a dog when you was married, and you knew you was a dog after. Simple. So we have to stop accepting mess from guys and from people because, like I said, females cheat too. But the important part is when you notice something to say something. I think that we tend to sit and settle for whatever it is that we're being dished out. I have to accept it. That's me. Okay. I seen red flags. I prayed about it. I talked about it. I talked to my girlfriends even when I didn't want to. And I accepted a lot of bull. And that's not cool. And, a man will only do what you allow. And if you allow mess, that's what you're going to get. And so now for me, it's like I'm trying to pay attention to red flags. When someone tells me something and I'm like, yeah, that don't sound right. I'm trying to just be vocal about that don't sound right. That don't make sense. Instead of waiting and a month go by, a week go by, a year go by, and you're like, that don't make sense, but you still sitting. Listen, we ain't nobody got time, no time to waste. Ain't none of us getting any younger. We're getting older. Sister's still fine. You know what I'm saying? But We ain't getting no younger. So the key is to not waste time on mess, and I'm not. So if you in my DMs, make sure you come in correct. So, let me stop. Um, how can you develop and maintain sexual passion with your spouse? Ooh, and if you read my book, we get real candid tonight. I don't have a guest tonight. It's me. And I want to be real. And like I said, I'm going to be transparent. How do you develop and maintain sexual passion with your spouse? I think you have to keep it spicy. You have to be open to try new things and do new things. I'm not saying it has to be, like another person. That's if you want it. Different strokes for different folks. But I think you do have to be open with your spouse and, tell them what you want. One of the questions I always asked a guy I dated was, what is your fantasy? What are you going to do? What you trying to do? Because I want to know. And I want to know what your expectations are. Can I do this? Am I cool with that? Is that a life I'm able to live? Am I able to fulfill your fantasies? But the problem is men and women both aren't honest. They don't really tell the other person what they want. They get that from the other person. And in my case, the fantasies was being acted out with other people. They weren't being acted out with me. So I asked the question, and the question was never answered. Truthfully, I don't have any fantasies. You're lying. You're lying. You got naked pictures in your phone. You're lying. So I think the key is to be honest with one another and to be honest with ourselves, what we really want. I was talking to a girlfriend the other night, and she said, I think I know what I want in a mate. And I'm like, let's hear this, because I got a list. But the key is to have a list that's, doable. You can't have all these these extravagant, expectations of a man or a woman, and they are not reachable. But like, I want to date a man that's my height, or I wanted to date, a female that, you know, got a big booty. Whatever it is that you want, be honest, and I think the aspect the aspect is I mean the point is that you need to be honest. And I think communication is like the big thing in relationships. And if you're not able to be open when it comes to your sexuality, then that's a problem right there. And a lot of people aren't open in their sexuality. They, they want to have threesomes and they ain't able to tell their spouse that they want to have threesomes. You should be able, if you married that person, you got down on one knee, you stood in front of the altar with the family and your friends and the Lord, then you should be able to tell your wife what you want. And I don't really understand the point of getting married if you're not able to do that. Why are you acting out fantasies with randoms? Why are you acting out fantasies with your side chick, but you married her? Why? It doesn't make any sense. So I think it's very important to be honest. How do you resolve conflict and build a strong future? Go right back to what I just said. Communication. And I think communication is in every relationship, to be honest, not just in a relationship with a man or a woman, but in our friendships, in our friendships and our family and, our courtships and our development in our business relationships. I mean, any relationship that you have, you should be able to be honest. And I'm not in a position to have relationships with people that I'm not able to be honest with. I tend to teeter sometimes depending on the situation because sometimes I'm too blunt. Once again, I'm a Sagittarius. And sometimes we can be real raw and it can come out the wrong way. So I think it's important to be tactful, but to still be able to get your point across. So to resolve conflict, you got to talk, you got to communicate. So once again, communication is a major issue in all relationships, friendships, dating, marriages, all of the above. And I know that communication was a big issue for me. That's why I'm divorced. I was communicating, I was expressing my feelings, I was saying this, and I need this, and I'm gonna leave you, and da 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 da. And it fell on deaf ears. And here we are, 2021. I'm single. So yeah, that's very, very important to make sure that, we find our voice and we find a mate and a person that we can communicate with. They can be honest with us and can be true. We can be true to one another. Um, for me, life after divorce, I find myself, asking a lot of questions when it comes to my expectations and what I want moving forward. What I dealt with in the past and what I refuse to deal with in the future. So, a lot of us date people based on potential, and potential is not where it's at. You know, it's different if you are in college and you're in high school and he's so cute, but we're adults. I'm a grown woman. I'm in my 30s. I ain't got time to date nobody that has potential to be a great man. You need to already be a great man, and or you already need to be a great woman. So I think the most important piece is to exude what you want. You expect a man to do these things for you, then you need to be able to do those things for yourself. And you need to display that. And you need to be able to bring to the table what you're asking for. I think people have unrealistic expectations. They want a man that makes six figures, but you over here working at McDonald's. It's real unrealistic, sis. So we have to be mindful of these things and the things that we ask for in a relationship. Friendship, relationship, all of the above, I think, for that matter. Um, so let me read you guys a couple passages from her book. Once again, I am talking about relationships, and I was talking about, Juanita Bonham's this is her ex Thomas Weeks book. She forwarded it. Is Teach Me How to Love You, and it's talking about communication and intimacy in relationships. Very, very important. I read this book a long time ago. I'm talking about over a decade, but it still reigns accurate today. So it goes to show you that communication is always an issue in every relationship. Um, let's see. One of the passages that everybody's trying to get on. Yes, it's Ruth Proctor. Hey, Ruth Proctor, guys. So, chapter 1 says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." Proverbs 1 and 7. And I'll talk about this in my book. If you don't got nobody to answer to, if you don't have nobody to keep you balanced, I'll never forget this. I'm talking about a year into my relationship with my ex. I remember having a conversation with my best friend, and I said, "These are the things that I'm noticing." I mean, I seen red flags from the beginning, and I said, "These are the things that I'm noticing." And the first thing she said was, "He's using you," and I was like, "Nah, no, he's not. That's not true." Sometimes we have people in our life that tell us stuff that we don't want to hear, and we ignore it. But truth be told, sometimes some of the things that people tell us that's tough are true. And we sometimes are not in a position to take it, or we don't want to take it. We don't want to hear it, but we have to. It's important. It's important for when you talking to somebody that really loves you and really has your best interest, for you to listen, hone in on what they're saying to you, because they're saying that for a reason. So, you have to, chew the meat out and spit out the bones, but you should know who's in your life that's for you and who's in your life that's not for you. And for me, I don't need nobody in my space that's not for me. If we ain't talked, if you just reaching out to me, if you live in the same city as me and we family and you ain't reached out to me, you ain't never seen my kids, you ain't never even asked me how my kids are doing, what we talking about, sis? What we doing? Ain't got time. Ain't got no time. So I think it's important to know who's genuine. And it's people that, you might have lost touch with. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about people that watch you on social media, follow you on, your page and all of that. And they send you a DM, but they got your number. Why? What's the point? So anyway, I ain't gonna even touch on that no more. But the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. In any relationship, you need somebody to be like, that ain't right. That ain't it, sis. a couple months, I would say some months ago, I had went to this music. No, this was last year. I'm sorry. I had went to this music concert, and this guy was trying to talk to me, and so my girlfriend was with me, or what? Well, she matter of fact, she met me there later. So she got there maybe like 30 minutes late, 30 minutes after me. So the guy is buying me drinks, and so when she get there, he's like, do your girlfriend want a drink? And I was like, she was like, no. I'm like, yeah, she want a drink, and she was like, that's not it, sis. And I had to take that, and I was like, I know. I got you. You ain't gotta say nothing else. And you gotta have those relationships with your friend. You can tell your friend, you don't say nothing else. I know. I got it. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for those relationships because, you know, sometimes we gotta get out of our own way. And sometimes we are in our way and we don't even realize that we're our worst enemy. So I have to listen to the people that, really like care about me and they like, no, sis, that's not it. So that's important. So yeah, I don't despise wisdom. I need wisdom. So I constantly try to make sure I'm around people that are pouring into me and that I know that's giving me that sound advice and makes sense and they love me. Not people that's just trying to attach themselves to me and pull at me. I don't need those types. I don't need that. I wanted to see if it was a part on here, but it's not. Okay. All right. So the other piece I wanted to take you guys, again, the book I'm talking about is Teach Me How to Love You. And Juanita Bynum forwarded it. This is her ex-husband's book. Ironically, they did a book together. They're no longer together, but this book is very relevant today and 10 years ago when I got the book. So, and it even comes with a CD. And she came to my church, so she autographed mine. But it's a really, really good book. And, I think it speaks on a lot of stuff. Just because you're not in a relationship or just because you're not married don't mean this book don't reign supreme for you. Because you want to be prepared. You stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You pour into yourself and prepare yourself for things. And when these things come to you, you're not surprised. You're not, you know what's going on. You're ready. And I refuse to not be prepared. So Juanita wrote in the book, so sister, if a man doesn't understand your emotions, he'll never be able to love you. Your emotions ignite your personality. They cause you to change day by day and moment by moment. Knowing this, a godly man will learn to wake up each morning and immediately find out where you're at, since he wants to learn how to love you that day. Believe me, this is the wisdom of God. Listen, you find you a mate that can pray for you when you can't pray for yourself, because that's key. And I'll never forget, like in my last relationship, I asked, my ex to pray for me because I was so emotionally drained. Like I couldn't even, even breathe, all the way. I was just in the dumps, to be clear. I was in the dumps. I was emotionally drained, emotionally frustrated, just upset, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and I did not have the words to pray in that moment. And he's the one causing the damn problems, but I'm asking him to pray for me. Where you at? Nowhere. So that's important. You got to find somebody that can pray for you and that can be there for you when you're weak. When I'm weak, you strong, we popping. But when I'm weak, you just crickets. What's the point? What we doing? Lack of communication, lack of support. If you read my book, I come from a history of abandonment issues. So I need someone that is a helpmate and that can, pick me up when I'm weak and help me when I'm down. That's very, very important. And a lot of times we pick and we attract stuff that we don't need. I don't need nothing attaching to me that I don't need. I need to make sure that I'm praying about my mate. I need to make sure that I'm meditating on this. I need to make sure that I am hearing the voice of God, not my eyes. I'm not lusting and I'm just not in this whole space of, I need to be in a relationship or I need sex, so I need to be in a relationship. That's not it. So, if you just got a date, then that's what you need to do. But jumping into a relationship for the wrong reasons is not where it's at. None of us got time to waste. None of us have time to play around with anything. Time waits for no one. And people are dying left and right. We ain't got no time to waste. So with all of that being said, I wanted to, just come from a transparent place tonight and just, be open and talk about just all the different things that is happening right now for me. It's very overwhelming. I'm very grateful. Um, but it is definitely challenging at times. I'm having to juggle, so many different things when it comes to work and being a mom, a single mom of two beautiful daughters, that keep me busy and worry me to death every daggone day. But I find solace in it. I find my strength in that. And so I just throw myself into what's in front of me, this book, my children, my businesses, all the great things that God is placing in front of me that I had no idea would even come. So for anyone that is just joining me, or that this is their first time on my page, my book is all about, surviving, trauma and surviving, life lessons, but still being successful. So no matter what I've endured, I always make sure I continue to push forward. And for whatever reason, when I'm single, man, listen, I'm on another level when it comes to my work ethic. My work ethic is like through the roof. I'm hungry. I'm ready to go. I done picked up 10 things and I'm maxing all of them out. So, I think when we get in relationships, we get stagnant, we get comfortable, and we tend to be a little more laxed. When we're not in a relationship, we tend to just be free and be moving and shaking. And that's me, so when it comes to me and just surviving, life after a divorce. And what's crazy is my divorce was final days ago. Um, and in this space, I have found so much peace. I have found, just I've always had a voice, but I dimmed it down to appease my mate. I dimmed it down to um not dominate and not dominate the room. Um, my ex tended to, like, be like, why you gotta talk all the time? Why you gotta say, what you no your mate shouldn't be trying to silence you. Why? Why are you silencing me? Why are you trying to? So, once again, I think that's very important to find someone equally yoked. Like they gotta want that you guys gotta have the same, goals and aspirations when it comes to what you guys want in each other. I don't want nobody that's trying to, be with me and then put me on a placemat, or, put me on a shelf and be pretty. That's not me. I'm a worker. I work. I like to be out. I'm social. I love talking to people. I love being involved. So I need someone that, is cool with that. If you want to play the sidelines, the background, cool. I see you. I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to do nothing I'm not supposed to do. But you need to know the type of female and the type of person that you're, with. So once again, communication is so important. When it comes to things I have coming up, man, it's so much. So tomorrow I will be reading to a book club, Joy Book. I will be reading to them. They are on my Instagram. I have tagged them. I posted them. I know they're in my stories. So be sure to go to Instagram to see all the great information that we have coming. The website is being updated right now with all the calendar information. So every day you'll be able to see like all the different things that I have going on. I keep saying we, so I'm so used to saying like we when it comes to my businesses. And now I'm having to step into a space of me and, owning, the fact that I'm an author and this is just me now. It's not we. So bear with me if I do say we or our, because that's the norm. I tend to hide in the shadows and not want the attention. So now I'm having to face the fact that you're an author, sis. You got to stand in front of the camera. Lights are on you. Eyes are on you. So you need to talk and articulate yourself correctly. So that's an ongoing battle. That's something I'll continue to work on. Being on camera, like I'm talking with my hands. So, I am constantly just growing and trying to make sure that I am my best self. And I hope that you're trying to be your best self too, because that's very important. We all have a purpose here on earth. And if you are not reaching your goals, and you're not doing the things that you were put here to do, you're wasting time, and none of us have that. We can't get no time back. So it's important for you to find your purpose, and to really like hone in on that. I didn't know that writing this book was my purpose until a couple years ago. And once I realized that, and I mourned how I felt, and I mourned how people was going to react to me doing this book. It's funny because when I started writing this book, you know, my current husband at the time was completely against me doing the book. And, he would say stuff like, "You're going to embarrass yourself. You shouldn't do this book," and da 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 da. And when I tell you, God has opened so many doors for me when it comes to this book, that it's very obvious that this is my purpose. And it's very obvious that this is what I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to continue to break barriers. I'm going to continue to, speak my truth. And I'm going to continue to not allow anyone to silence me. And so, with that being said, I'm going to walk in my purpose. I hope to see you guys at All Star. I will be in Atlanta this weekend. When it comes to, I'm doing a book signing in Atlanta. I won't really be at like all the events or anything like that, but I would definitely be in the city. I would definitely be in the building when it comes to important stuff. I have a book signing um, this weekend as well in Atlanta, and I will be dropping the location in a couple days. And I will also be walking the red carpet on Monday for a Hollywood movie premiere. So I'm super geeked about that. I am super humble. I'm super humbled to be, doing something like that. This is all new for me, but I am just trying to walk in it gracefully and, effectively, and trying to make sure that my message gets conveyed correctly. So that's the most important part. What else? I will be on Fox the end of the month. I am flying to Chicago to be on Fox. So that's really, really exciting. Um, I'm sorry, the location for the book signing is Everything Nola, um, Savannah Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, Everything Nola. She is from New Orleans, and she has a great spot. She even has a whole author's nook in her spot. So I will be there this Saturday and Sunday. Look for the full address. I will be putting it all over Instagram, and I will also make sure it's on Facebook. But make sure you follow me on Instagram, A Ruth Proctor, and on Facebook, A Ruth Proctor, if you want to see additional information about all the upcoming events. And be sure to follow me on to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and subscribe to my website, www.aruthproctor.com, to get more information. I just got off the phone with NCCU Athletics, and I will be speaking to the students on the 19th. So that's going to be awesome. I will be doing a follow-up event at NCCU in April. So I'm be going back home to my alma mater, the Eagles, baby. So just a lot of great, exciting things coming, and I'm just beyond grateful. I'm open to, speak to different women. So if you are interested in being on this platform, be sure to send me a message, send me an email, be sure to send me a DM. I want to hear from all my survivors, and don't feel like your survival has to be the same as mine, because everybody's survival is different. You might be a survival from, being an entrepreneur. You might be a survivor when it comes to domestic violence. You might be a survivor when it comes to, being a single parent. Don't feel like your survival has to match mine. We all have survived something in life, whether you believe it or not. So hopefully, something I said tonight could touch you. Hopefully something I said, will hit home. And I love you guys. I hope, you are banging out your goals, and let's finish this month and continue to push it in this month for women, his National Women History Month, and making sure that we are, igniting that fire that's in us. And I'm on fire. I'm ready to go. So nothing that's in front of me, I'm not nothing that's in front of me, anything that's in front of me, I'm not scared. I'm not afraid of, and I'm willing to tackle whatever comes my way. So, I hope you are doing the same. We all, have to stand, 10 toes down and making sure that we stay grounded. And your foundation is very important. So make sure you have a strong foundation when it comes to whatever you're trying to do. And if you don't know what your purpose is, seek God, talk to Him. He will guide you. Because I'm telling you, I did not plan to do this, to do any of this stuff. This is all Him, all Him, no lie. So, I love you guys. I hope that you can continue to, push forward in your goals this month. I hope that you find your purpose and most importantly, find peace. We all are in a weird space with this pandemic. And I think that, it makes it very challenging for us to find our peace in this moment, in this time, because we don't know what to expect. The unknown is scary. But I had to remind myself whenever I get scared, whenever I get fearful, that fear does not come from God. And so, like, even the other day, I just began to just start thinking about business. And I started thinking about, like all the things I'm doing with, with the book, and I got to fly here and I got to do this. And, I'm by myself and da, da, da. And I just said, hold up. I had to have a talk with myself, and I had to have a talk with God. And I said, you gotta, continue to block out negativity. So when you start getting scared and you start feeling like, you don't know what to do, you gotta remember what you done already walked through. I done already walked through fire all my life. As a little kid, I walked through fire. Whew, hold on before I get emotional. So it's nothing that um can be in front of me that I can't walk through. So I think that's very, very important to know, no matter what is in front of you, that you can, you can get past it. So if I got through the stuff that I got through in my past, then it is nothing that's in front of me that I can't conquer. So I hope that you, find your purpose if you have not. And I hope that you have peace in this pandemic. And if you don't, I definitely recommend that you find a way to find peace, whether that's counseling, um, whether that's a spiritual advisor, a pastor, a friend, a loved one, um, anyone that you feel like that is going to help you. I think that's important to find that space and that those words of wisdom. You got to be able to talk to somebody to get it off you, because if you keep it in, you asking for trouble. An idle mind is a devil's workshop, and if you stay idle and you just talk to yourself, you're gonna talk yourself right into your grave. So I refuse to do that. And that's one of the main reasons why I wrote my book. I began to journal and I began to find my voice. And I got tired of being quiet. I got tired of dealing with mess. So I just started speaking, and I just started. If I gotta scream, I gotta scream. Hey, you might catch it today, but that's what I had to learn. I had to find my voice, and at times I'm still finding my voice. At times I shut down. I just had a conversation the other day, with my therapist, and I was like, I don't want to have conversations with some people. Like, what's the point? I've voiced how I feel. I've voiced, my concerns, or I voiced that I didn't like this, and they still continue to do it. So why the hell am I going to continue to talk to them and explain something to them that they obviously don't care about? And she said, Ruth, it's not about you. I mean, she said, it's not about them. It's about you. She was like, this is for you. You're getting it off your chest to help you. And I think that I had to find that. I had to learn that. Hey, Serena. I had to find that. And um, I just had to find, my strength. And, I'm one of those people that even as a kid, I would cry. And instead of, articulating myself and telling someone why I was crying or what was going on with me, I shut down. And I still do that as an adult. So we talked about this in previous, chats. I know we talked about it on Clubhouse. And if you're not following me on Clubhouse, be sure to follow me on Clubhouse. I host a I Survive You Can Too panel on Clubhouse at 6 o'clock every Wednesday. And that's also a part of the Women Supporting Women Wednesdays. So be sure to follow me on there. But we had a deep conversation 2 weeks ago about childhood trauma going over into our life as adults and how childhood trauma affects us as adults. And that's a prime example. Some of those same patterns that I used as a kid, I use now. And that's not healthy sometimes. Sometimes you got to be quiet, but some other times you need to speak. And sometimes I don't. I just be like, for what? Like, I'm not wasting my breath on this. I'm not wasting. This person don't even deserve my me to even talk to them and continue to explain to this person why I feel this way or why this bothers me. So, that's something I'm constantly working on. That's something I'm constantly surviving. And like I said before, and I'll say again, I survive, you can too, but I'm still surviving. I'm still learning. I'm still growing as a person. And we all are. But the main thing is that we grow through our pain. We grow through the things that make us who we are. We all are different. And we all have positive attributes about ourselves. But the point is to pull them out and to find them. If we stay silent, we can't find them. If we stay, to ourselves and don't communicate and don't let people know what, you need. And that's a problem that I have too. I don't tell people when I need help. So the main thing is acknowledging it. I acknowledge it. I have friends in my life that say, you know what? You need help. You need to ask for help. Even at my book launch, I needed help and I didn't ask. And my girlfriend was like, yes, she need help. Help her. So it's good to have those people in your life that, keep you balanced, keep you stable, and really just, keep you grounded. So, I appreciate you guys for, allowing me the time to speak to you tonight. I have juggled a million things today. I just finished cooking. I cooked some lobster and shrimp, fettuccine, you know what I'm saying? Whipped it up in the kitchen real quick. And my baby getting her hair braided right now. And, I'm just juggling it all, but I'm here. I'm glad I got up here. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to, be able to speak to you guys. Why y'all laughing at me? I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak to you guys and having this platform to talk to you. Like I said, hopefully something I said can ignite the fire in you to push forward, to find your purpose, and to communicate to your mate, or your spouse when it comes to stuff or when it comes to your issues so that you don't be in the same shoes as me. I think that's pretty much wraps it up. I'm trying to think, is there anything in April I got going on? I will be doing a book tour in April, also in Charlotte. April 11th, I will be in Charlotte at BW Suites. Shout out to Philip from Spring 04, Gamma Beta. Definitely, am grateful for all the support that has been pouring in. I mean, you guys have been showing up. NCCU particularly have been showing up for me, and I'm beyond grateful for the support. So holla at your girl. If you want me on a feature, if you want me on, a platform to speak. Like I said earlier, I will be speaking for NCCU student athletics on the 19th. I will also be there on the 3rd. I will actually be on the yard on the 3rd in the Greek Bowl. I'm super excited about that. Shout out to all the Greeks. So, be sure to tune in. Like I said, be sure to follow me on Instagram so you can get all the, the tea, and all the calendar events will be on my website, www.aruthproctor.com. And I want to say thank you guys for following me, and have a great night and continue to bang them goals. Good night.